You probably remember this guy.
This is the moment. 22-year-old Peter Eastgate steps into poker history. Peter Eastgate is our 2008 main event champion.
The youngest player to ever win the World Series of Poker main event. But you're also probably thinking, where the hell did he go? So were we. Let's get into it. But before we do, thanks for watching another episode of Poker Boom. New episodes are coming out every single week, so make sure to hit the bell so you're notified of when a new video releases. Alright. Here we go. Poker normally lionizes high-stakes risk-takers and flashy personalities, so Peter Eastgate's story is a quiet anomaly. He didn't just win poker's biggest crown, he did it young, and then he walked away from the game almost entirely. The Danish poker prodigy, who at just 22 became the youngest player ever to win the World Series of Poker main event in 2008, stunned the poker world again just 2 years later when he abruptly retired from the game at the age of 24. In a culture obsessed with legacy, Eastgate's decision left fans both confused and fascinated. What makes his disappearance all the more compelling is that it wasn't driven by scandal or by financial ruin, but by introspection, fatigue, and a need for something more meaningful. Peter Eastgate burst onto the poker scene seemingly out of nowhere. In 2008, he took the WSOP by storm, navigating a field of over 6,800 players to win over $9 million and the main event bracelet.
Smooth call from the 22-year-old on the brink of becoming the youngest main event champion ever. Demidov is committed here. He'll have to get lucky and hit his full house on the river.
At just 22 years old, Eastgate broke Phil Hellmuth's record for the youngest champion, a milestone that underscored just how young the game had skewed in the post-poker boom era, especially considering this record will be broken just a year later by Joe Cada.
Joe Cada rewrites poker history, becoming the youngest main event champ ever.
This was also the first year of the now famous November 9 format, which delayed the final table until months after the main tournament, adding drama and visibility to the players involved. Eastgate was not your typical poker champion. He was reserved, soft-spoken, introverted, and he didn't revel in the spotlight like many of his peers.
It's very cool to become like the youngest winner ever. The main thing is to make history in the way of becoming the world champion. The age factor is just like the icing on the cake.
Still, his win earned him celebrity status within the poker world. He traveled, he played high-stakes tournaments, and he inked sponsorship deals that would allow him to play major events at virtually no financial risk. For a while, it seemed like Eastgate would become a fixture in the poker world.
I think Peter should be called I Shattered Hellmuth's youngest ever record gate.
Good idea.
A symbol of the new generation of international poker talent. But as quickly as he had risen, Eastgate began to feel the weight of his success. Though he enjoyed playing the game, he admitted from early on that he was uncomfortable with the fame. Public appearances, interviews, and the constant scrutiny did not sit well with him. As the novelty of poker celebrity wore off, he found himself emotionally drained. The joy of traveling and playing began to diminish, replaced by a sense of fatigue and growing resentment. Behind the scenes, though, a more dangerous habit was also developing. Eastgate had started sports betting in 2009 and quickly fell into a downward spiral.
Hey, I'm Peter Eastgate. This is where I stood.
He wagered compulsively, particularly during the 2010 FIFA World Cup, where he lost over $1.7 million in just a matter of weeks, including a devastating six-figure bet against Spain winning the tournament. By his own account, he had become a degenerate gambler, but these losses extended beyond the sportsbook. In online cash games, Eastgate was consistently losing to more skilled players, often playing at the highest stakes available without the benefit of proper game selection. Despite his tournament success, he recognized that he was outmatched online and increasingly exposed to variance and tilt. Rather than continue down a destructive path, Eastgate made a bold and nearly unprecedented decision. He quit poker. In 2010, just 2 years after his historic victory, Peter Eastgate announced his retirement from professional poker. His departure from the game shocked fans and pros alike. Many assumed he was broke or hiding some kind of scandal, but in reality, he had made the difficult but mature choice to step away from something that was no longer bringing him happiness. His decision was crystallized further when he auctioned off his WSOP main event bracelet later that year.
And it ended up selling for $150,000 to, I believe he was an Irish businessman. He was definitely a European businessman, Willie Hawley.
While this act stirred controversy among poker purists, some seeing it as disrespectful to the game, Eastgate's motivations were anything but cynical. He donated the $147,500 raised from the auction to UNICEF, framing the gesture not as a rejection of poker, but as a pragmatic use of a trophy collecting dust in a drawer. I'm just very confused and bewildered that people want me to keep the bracelet when it's just in a drawer, he said. I'm being misinterpreted if they believe that's it because I don't appreciate poker. It was just a trophy I got which I didn't use. After his exit, Eastgate spent several years trying to find a new direction in life. He attempted to study engineering in 2013, only to flunk all 4 of his exams. He later pursued teaching, but quickly realized that it wasn't the right fit either. He returned to Denmark after living in London, embracing a far quieter existence than the glitzy world of international poker tours. Today, Eastgate lives modestly, relying on his WSOP earnings, wisely invested and sparingly spent, to sustain a minimalist lifestyle. He takes long walks, he spends time with friends, and he relishes in the simplicity of his routine. He says his daily existence is kind of like a permanent Sunday. Despite how mundane it may appear from the outside, he insists he's thriving. My spendings are very low. The way I live my life, I could live my life like this for another 200 years, he said. From the outside, it seems incredibly boring, but I'm enjoying myself. There's something poetic about the way Eastgate reflects on his time in poker.
All right, now the river card. Oh! The 6 of diamonds eliminates Scott Montgomery.
He holds no bitterness, he holds no shame, and no desire to re-enter the spotlight. Occasionally, he's played a few events. A 2012 WSOP prelim event saw him final table and finish 4th, but those appearances have been rare and without much fanfare. Eastgate's content not chasing glory or validation. What makes his story so compelling isn't just his abrupt disappearance, but it's what his absence represents. In an industry that often glamorizes risk, excess, and endless ambition, Eastgate made a conscious choice to put his mental health, his peace, and his happiness first. He saw a dangerous path forming before him, and he had the courage to walk away from millions of dollars and global fame to live a life that suited him better. Eastgate himself remains proud of his poker skills and what he's achieved, but he's clear about what matters most now. I don't care that much what people think. I hope people will like me for the person who I am. For me, it was mostly about the money, not being recognized for your results. Peter Eastgate's journey is a rare one in the professional world of poker. It challenges the assumption that success is only real when it's relentless. His disappearance isn't a mystery driven by scandal, but by self-preservation. So for those who dream of the main event's glory, Eastgate's life offers a thoughtful counterpoint. He reached that mountaintop. He looked around and he realized he preferred the quiet valley below. In a world where everybody wants more, Peter Eastgate remains one of the few who had it all and simply walked away.
He's been a wonderful and unshakable champion, humble, self-deprecating, and respectful of his elders. His mom must be proud.
And that's it for this one. Thanks for watching another episode of Poker Boom. What do you think of Peter Eastgate's decision? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.